know what time it is.
How it all works.
Come on.
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 Guest invitation, show flyer design, show advertising, stream setup, affiliate links, tech check, run sheet or show flow, intro video, outro video with credits, segment bumpers, sponsor promos, announcements, chat moderators, relevant show links, community shoutouts, repurposing via audio podcast, audiograms, video snippets, quote memes, mailing list content. Whew. Did we cover everything? Live show planning can be super simple, but over time, it can grow into a monster. How do you manage it all and keep the ships running on time? If you've ever asked that question, or if the crazy list I just rattled off interests you, then consider joining us for the Live Show Planning A to Z Masterclass. Sunday, March 27th from 3 to 5 p.m., you'll learn the 5 phases of live show planning and leave with tangible next steps. $67 reserves your seat. Go to kirkarnugent.com/masterclass today and let's figure out how it all works. Hey. What's good, family? Kerwin Bornell is on the live. I see you out there, family. I see you. Letitia is on the live. She says, good evening, y'all. Seesaw Studios is on the live. What's good, Seesaw? What's good, Stephen Woods? What's good? Talk to me in the comments. Let me see what else we got out here. It is so good to be back. Man, listen, last week was crazy. No, but for real, last week was crazy. If you haven't been following me on Instagram, you are missing out. You're missing out. If you haven't been following me on Instagram, you are missing out, because all of the pictures that are on this side of me over here, all of them. Hey, what's good, Michael Shelton? All of those pictures are actually on Instagram as individual posts, okay? Individual posts on Instagram, and I kind of put a little blurb underneath all of them. If you look at it closely, I don't know what you're watching this on, but if you, hey, Tiffany Henderson is on the live. What's good, sis? What's good? Oh, Seesaw says, I follow. You had a blast. Let me tell you something. Daniel Vital is in there. Pat Flynn, Omar El Takori from Think Media, him and Sean Kennel. Oh my goodness. Avia Ria is on there. Doc Rock, Diana Gladney, Ken and Glenn, the founders of Ecamm, which is the platform we're using tonight, Miss Jill, Adrian Salisbury, man. Listen, Tom Buck, Heather Ramirez. It was stupid. The list keeps on going and going. So definitely hit up Instagram if you haven't. Because that all of those pictures are there and videos are there as well, just kind of recapping the day. So yeah, trust me. Yeah. Tiffany says, man, you were with everyone, like for real. It was crazy. Had such a great time. As always, I always want to make sure I share this book, because I want to make sure you guys know that there is a PDF, a ebook out there that you can use to systematically level up your live stream. 31 live streaming tips to grow your audience. I want you to catch that. Definitely something that you want to look into. Definitely something that I think will be beneficial to you in your live video journey. 17 people on the live. What's good, family? Love seeing 17 people on the live. Let's drop a bomb for the 17 people that are on here. Let's share a little more, because today we're going to have a really great discussion about remote production, and I'm excited about that joint. Man, but yeah, 31 tips. Hey, listen, we're celebrating still, right? We're still in the mode of celebration. Hey, Rodriguez Gonzalez says, what's good? But yo, I want y'all to, some of you guys are not reading this. I see you in the background, Austin. I see you reading. I see his eyes shifting from back and forth. He's reading that thing quick. He's like, wait a minute. Congratulations. Amazon influencers. Congratulations. Listen. We have plenty to celebrate. Listen. Come on. Listen. For those that understand the process, you get approved for the influencer program, which means you can set up your shop page, and that gives the ability to go live. But you have to go through another process to be able to do shoppable videos. And then once you get some shoppable videos uploaded, you have another process to get approved for additional locations on Amazon, which also earns you some additional coins. So I got this joint in my email on, I don't know if it was Sunday or what day it was, but I was just like, yo, let's go. So super excited about this, man. Looking at all kinds of ways to really leverage this thing. I told the kids on Sunday, I was like, listen, man, you buy a pair of socks from Amazon, we're making a video, okay? Like an ice maker, the ice tray on Amazon, we're making a video, all right? Listen, this beanie, I got this from Amazon, we're making a video. This watch, I got this from Amazon, we're making a video. Like, it's all going down, right? It's gonna be on Amazon, man. So yeah, definitely check me out over there if you can. If you haven't already, but definitely check me out over there. It is a space we are growing. Thank you so much for the congratulations in the chat. I'll absolutely love it, man. Listen, if you have not been hanging with us for this masterclass series, this is number 7, y'all. Number 7. I want you to count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 7th one coming up this coming Sunday, March 27th, 3 to 5 p.m. Live show planning A to Z. We had our first masterclass preview today at noon, actually 12:30 Central Time. What is that? That's 1:30 East, and that's 10:30 for my folks out west. We had our first masterclass preview today, and it was dope. Live show planning A to Z. And I was saying to folks, I was like, look, this is a teaser. I get it. It's a teaser. I get it. But we want to give you some value even in the preview. And today we gave you some value in the preview, and it was literally in the title. It's called Live Show Planning. Somebody missed it. Austin, somebody missed it. You've got to plan your live show. All right, I'm going to leave you alone. Come on back tomorrow for the next preview. We talked about repurposing content today. We're going to be talking about planning for guests tomorrow. So definitely come out and check us out. But today we're talking about remote production. And on the screen is an amalgamation of screenshots from different productions I have done over the last couple of years, client projects that were cool, even including this show. So remote production and just the whole producer space is what we will be tapping into tonight with our guest, Mr. Austin Humphreys at MRHump at 23 on IG is his handle. I want to make sure you guys catch that because we are going to have some fun tonight diving in. Have you ever defined remote production? Have you ever thought about having a live show? Have you ever thought about having a web show or a video podcast? I don't care what you call it. Do you need some assistance? Remote production could be that missing piece. And this is the show. You're in the right place. You're in the right space. And I'm excited to dive into this content. So without any further ado, right after this, we're going to have Mr. Austin Humphreys with us on the live. Let's go.
Yo.
Yes.
We here.
He's
What's
here.
Up, man?
He is here and we are here. Mr. Austin Humphreys is on the LIV.
Going on,
this is a personal one. Let me just say this at the outset for y'all, fam. This is a personal one. Y'all don't even know the amount of text messages, the amount of phone calls that go back and forth between Austin and I, like behind the scenes. There is no competition. I want to say this right at the outset.
Come on,
as
man.
he
You're too
continues
kind.
To, no. As he grows, listen, as he grows, I grow. All right. As I grow, he grows. There's no competition here. This is what y'all don't even know. Like behind the scenes, the work is just getting done. And I'm loving what Austin is doing, man. Austin, welcome to the show. Excited to have you here, man.
Listen, it's finally. I've been a faithful member of the chat community for so long, man.
Yes.
And just being here, man, watching every single show. So I'm glad to be here tonight on How It All Works. Guys, listen, you guys know before you do anything else, you got to hit the share button.
Yeah,
hit the share button, hit the like button. Like, come on in here. If you're on YouTube, send the link to somebody else. You guys know how we do. If you ever seen me and Kirk online before, this is what we do together, man. So come on, you got to share. We're talking about something that is major tonight, but How It All Works is a major show, man. So I'm glad to be on, man. What's going on, man? Listen,
hey, man,
you've had a great last couple of days, man. You
brother.
Man,
listen.
Come on.
Listen. We're gonna take a 2-minute side break, right? 2 minutes to start the clock. Man, when God says press down, shaking to running over, man. Let me tell you, this past week, oh man. When I got back from San Diego, I said to Kanik, man, I need to decompress. I need to get my thoughts together, my ideas together. I need to retool for this next leg of the journey because I was so pumped and inspired. But God is like, listen, there's more. You thought that was it. There is more. But I'm excited, man. I appreciate you and I appreciate all the things that you are doing and you're experiencing in this space as well. I love seeing people catch the vision. And one of the things I love about you and what you do, and we're going to let you introduce yourself just now, but one of the things I love about you and what you do is that you not only see it, you put it into action. All right. And there's a lot of people that I cannot tell you how many, when I was at Oakwood as CIO, had media under me. And I had a number of students that I would bring alongside, and they know who they are. And if you're watching this, even on replay, you know who you are. And I would bring them in. But the thing that I would always tell them is, I'm just going to show you the basics to keep you on, you know, to keep the train on the tracks. You've got to poke around in there. You've got to, you know, figure out where the real boundaries are, right? You got to make it fall apart and then put it back together. This is the learning piece. And I had a couple of students who really did that. And those are the guys who are still with me to this day. Like Talik Taylor, like that's my, you know, Talik. Talik is my second. Like that's my guy. Yeah. But he's to this day, he's the guy that would poke around. And this is what I see with people like you, people like HIAW and others. I'm not going to name everybody, but others who really take a look at it as like, okay, how did he do that? And then reverse engineer. Like I would come on your show and I would see a lower third. I'd be like, yes, they did that.
Yeah, I remember that.
So that's dope, man. That's dope.
Yeah,
but
man.
Listen, I want to throw this up here because I want to get you talking. I'm going to shut up. Tell the people a little about yourself. Yeah. Who you are and your relationship to live streaming and remote production. Go ahead.
So the biggest thing, everybody, my name is Austin Humphreys. I am a remote production specialist. I am the co-founder of Right Now Production. We put a lot of things together, all things live stream for remote production. We coach and help small businesses and even faith-based organizations learn all things about, creating your brand, putting it on the internet, making sure that you're putting out a successful presentation with remote production so we can be wherever we are in the country and produce something incredible for you and your show and what you do, whether it's live or pre-recorded. We've done over 1,000 live streams combined together with what we do. And so we're proud of that. Listen, Kirk, when we started the pandemic, man, most of us in our field, we just knew about Zoom. And we got an introduction to live stream remote production really by this university I went to, not Oakwood University, but YouTube University. We fell into a page, man, Kirk R. Nugent, man, and we started watching some of these different videos. Myself and my co-founder, my co-host, HIAW Scott. We have a podcast together. We run an online ministry together, and so we got a lot of different things lined up. But we decided to learn and get into this space of production. We both have churches that we did pastor. We created, you see there, the podcast right there. Academy Podcast, Curriculum for Growth. We started this thing, out of the pandemic, taught us so much different stuff, but it was just life-changing for us. So you can kind of see some of the things on our landing page there, what we do. But the real introduction, Kirk, was what we did with Now Worship. Now Worship was a faith-based organization that we started out of the pandemic, bringing our churches together. Our churches were in 3 or 4 different cities. Both of us had 2 different churches, and we were able to bring them together. But not only that, based on remote production, we were able to tap into people who didn't even live in the same state. Didn't even live in North Carolina. And so what the brand we were putting out, people were like watching, like, this is not just something on Zoom. This is not just something we're seeing. We're seeing, lower thirds, and we're seeing intro videos. And you talk about trial and error, man. When we look at some of our older videos to where we are now, listen, we take those as learning curves. And Kirk talked a little about that lower thirds that we had when we first started. I went on his YouTube page and had one screen here and one screen over here, and I learned how to put those pieces together. Listen, let me put the plug in. If you're not subscribed to Kirk R. Nugent's YouTube page, then you're missing out, okay? Because literally it taught us how to put a solid product together. Because, Kirk, we know this, when people look at live production online, they do. They care about 2 main things. They care about how you sound, and they care about how you look, right? And so when people start asking, like, man, what are you doing? What piece are you putting together? The biggest question was, listen, who are you paying to do this? And I'm saying, no, we're doing this ourselves. We're doing it ourselves. Yeah. We're teaching this ourselves. And out of that, we have hosted, literally, we have been online and hosted over 1,000 different live streams. We have produced for over 30 different organizations. And we're really excited about being on tonight to talk a little bit about this whole thing about remote production. It's something that we've learned over time. But like you said, man, we're growing. We're seeing what it can do, and it's going to the next level. What one of the things that I love to say is that question, that 19-year-old, right? The 19-year-old in 2040, right? If he's 19 in 2040, it means he's not born yet, right? 2050, whatever. But that 19-year-old in that time frame is gonna say to the grandfathers and the uncles and the old heads and be like, man, I'm learning about
this time in 2022 and 2021 and 2020 when the pandemic hit and it really reversed things and live streaming kind of blew up.
Yeah.
So dad, mom, grandma, grandpa, what did you do during that time frame?
Yeah.
How did you ride that wave? Did you have a live show? Did you have a podcast? How did you utilize this new vehicle? Right? Like for us now, we don't even know what it's going to look like in 2050,
no,
2040.
Absolutely not.
But for them now, I can only imagine they have like a telegram or like we're teleporting and stuff like that. But for them now, they have their new iterations of this thing. But as they read in the history books of what that looked like, what we're doing right now, and they're saying to themselves, man, how did you tap in? What is going to be your response? And I love what you said, Austin. We're learning.
Yeah.
It was trial and error. People didn't know how we were doing it, but we had fun with it and we did it anyway. We did it scared, right? We did it not completely unsure at times.
Absolutely.
We did it. We didn't know what the results were going to be. People were listen, can I put a plug here? People were paying us to do it and we were figuring it out. Meanwhile, they were paying us.
While we were doing right. Come on. I mean, that's real. That's right. And listen, we were giving them the product, but we were learning while we were producing content for them.
Come on,
man. It's paid off dividends, man. And I think about this when the pandemic first started. We really got into this stuff, and before there was StreamYard was still new, and we were still learning Ecamm and some of these other pieces. We were just blown away that you had your logo as a ping. We could just see it in the corner. I remember when I first messaged you, I said, man, where'd you get that lower third from? And now look at us with sliding faces and our names are all over the place and logos. But remote, we didn't even realize that we were remote producers at the time. I mean,
we didn't even know the term.
We didn't even know that. We didn't even know what it was. But we were doing it. And so when people started seeing that what our shows look like, then we said to ourselves, okay, we can actually produce this for somebody else. We can duplicate this for you. We can make this for you. You don't have to do any work. We'll do it for you. We'll get all the scenes together. We'll get the graphics together. We'll tap into who's doing videos and things like that. We understood and realized that, listen, we can take this brand a step further. That's what me and Guy decided to do. Me and my partner, we decided to say, you know what? We're going to take it to the next level. We're not only going to build our show to grow for us. We're going to help other people build their shows, their content, take it to the next level, man.
Man, and there's something so critical right here. One of the things that I always say to folks is that your live stream is your digital storefront. So what I'm going to ask you right now is proof of this statement. 100% of your clients came from where?
From church, 100%.
From your show. From your show.
Absolutely. Watching online.
So this is what I keep on saying to folks. You don't have the show. It's difficult for people to see what you can do.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, people would say to me, hey man, season 2, episode 6, that setup, I want that graphic for my show. Can you do something like that for me? It was like they were thumbing through a catalog, right? And it's actual live content. These shows were not just there for people to see as an example of what I could do. This show had guests on there. It had content. It had a point. But people would thumb through that thing and be like, good night. If he could do this, man, what can he do for me? So I love what you said there. We didn't just want to do this for ourselves. We wanted to do this for others as well. And to be clear, we're not going to go into all the details, but one of the things that especially Now Worship and even the podcast did for Austin is that it not only gave him a bigger platform, but he was able to take that platform with him even as he switched to a different area. So nobody can take it from you because it's yours.
Right. That's it.
Understand this thing.
I mean, that's critical right there, man.
That's critical. Right? Yeah, this does not belong to an entity or organization. This was a brainchild that you and Kagia came up with. And it doesn't matter where what your W-2 says on it. You can move from where you are now or across the country to California. You can still run your show because your show is your show.
No question.
And this is what I want people to catch here when we're talking about remote live production. I want you to understand the impact of having a live show. Now we want to define this thing, right? So talk to us a little bit about your origin story, Austin. What's your broadcast / live stream content creator story? How did you get started? Let's start there.
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, myself and Kagia Scott, we have ministries in North Carolina, and we decided to get together and let's say, you know what, we're in this pandemic. We're not meeting in the church right now. You know, the front door of the church, and even still today, Kirk, to put this plug in, the front door of the church is what happens online, the online space now. That's the front door. So we realized, listen, let's come together on Zoom. We came together on Zoom, did some stuff. This, you know what? Let's test, let's go live. Now listen. This is going live with no lower thirds. I can't even imagine that now. Going live with no bumper videos, right? Going live with, I mean, just none of the flashy stuff we have now. But we did it scared. We did it because you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just see. People, we got a kick out of the fact that, man, people can comment and they can see this and they can. We had we had some troubleshooting. And listen, there were issues. We had to learn. There were some things that didn't work out. We failed. I'm gonna say that again for somebody. We failed. There were days that the stream didn't go up and we had to just record and put it up later and figure that out. There were some things we failed, but in failure, we had a hunger to say, you know what, next week we're gonna be better.
Come on.
Drop the ball again. Next week we're gonna be better. And we kept it going. So what we ended up doing was, as we continued to grow, we said, you know what, we don't want to just stay on Zoom. Are there other platforms out there to take it to the next level, to make it cutting edge? And it was a recent production done by another great content producer named James Doggett, who decided to do a powerful thing that he did during the week, where allowed different faith-based organizations to come together. We saw that this StreamYard thing was here, and doing that type of production was major. And so what we decided to do was, instead of asking somebody or paying somebody to say, hey, look, can you run this for us? We just went to YouTube. We started learning. We started building. And from there, we started building this Now Worship brand. And even though it's called North Carolina Online Worship, but out of that, people from all over, not only the country, but the world will watch our platform every Saturday morning, Wednesday night, Wednesday in the Word. We're doing these different things here. But we end up building a brand where nobody else had the lower thirds like we had it. Nobody else had the different sliding videos. People were trying to figure out who's doing your voiceovers, not realizing that was Kagia. We weren't paying somebody else.
Hey, Kagia, and now he's getting paid to do.
And now he's getting paid to do voiceovers. Yes. We realize, you know, we're seeing other people do it. Let's just try it. You know, not even that, the hosting gig. We were hosting the show and producing it at the same time.
Yes.
And after doing so many shows, we realized, listen, I can do this in my sleep. We started putting together this whole idea of, you know what, this type of remote production, it can be done anywhere. It can be done on my phone, on my iPad. I can be in my hotel room. Because when you, as a remote producer, we'll talk about this a little bit later, how you build your show matters. It really does.
Ooh.
And we learned that building your show, because anything that you see now, we go live, it's not something we do on a whim. We've been building the show. We've been planning. We've been preparing. Content is got to have good content, but you got to plan your show. And that's where remote production comes into place. You got to, it doesn't start when you go live. It starts days before, weeks before, when you're planning something.
Word.
This show that you're seeing here, how it all works. Kirk does not start today, an hour before. No, he's planning. He's building. We're putting things out for our guests, for people who are watching us live. So they'll end up saying, like, man, how do you do this stuff? Listen, we've got a whole, like you said, catalog of learning this stuff that's going to take it to the next level.
Listen, you said so much right there. You said, oh my goodness, you said so much right there. One thing I want to hang my hat on is the planning piece. And this is why I said earlier in the announcement section that the title of our masterclass this coming Sunday, March 27th, 3 to 5 p.m., the title is Live Show Planning A to Z. But some of you missed the first nugget of wisdom. Live show planning.
That's it.
It has to be planned. And that's so what Austin is talking about. It's muscle memory. It's getting those repetitions under your belt. Listen, let's be clear. Okay. My son loves Steph Curry. When he gets that pass in the right spot, it's a wrap. Do you know why? It's a wrap. Because before the sun cracks the sky, your boy Steph is out there draining that three at that spot. It's muscle memory. Yeah. It doesn't matter if 15 people are in his face. He's going to hit that shot. And so for the remote producer, for the person who's going to live stream, you develop such a comfortability. Now this can be a two-edged sword, but you develop this familiarity with the tools, with the tech. You've done it. You have your run sheet and your pre-show routine. Somebody gonna receive this. Defined to the point where you now No, okay, I'm putting this here, I'm putting this here, I'm putting this there. If I don't, and you know exactly what happens when you don't. And in fact, when something goes wrong, you can immediately be like, oh, I forgot to do this. Yep,
Absolutely.
I forgot to do that. Needed to check my list. And I have those humbling moments from time to time, still, even now. Now. And so
it
this is
all
why.
the time.
Oh yeah.
It happens all the time,
Nobody's
man.
above this thing.
Nobody's
above this thing.
Gotta stay humble, man.
Stay humble, man.
Yeah, you got to. Especially with this. When it's your baby, you gotta say, and people will be like, oh man, that went so well. There were no glitches. And you're thinking in your mind, there were some mistakes I made on this. There were some things on here that I could have done a little bit better on. If I would have tweaked some things here, if I would have stuck to my details. So those things do happen.
They do.
So that's why the planning is really important.
Yeah, and this is where going back and watching film, I hate to, beat a dead horse in terms of the sports analogy, but if you want to be at the top of your game in anything, you got to go back and watch film. So I go back and I watch live productions, client productions, my own shows. I go back and watch them and be like, okay, oh, that's when I did this. Is this what the audience sees? Okay, I need to change that because I don't want them to see that. Oh, is this how this piece, comes on screen? No, we need to animate that differently. All of those ideas, those tweaks, those are innovations. That's called getting one step better every single day. And when you do that, you can look back 365 days later and be like, man, from whence we've come. Listen, I want to throw this question up here for the audience. This is for the audience. And while you guys are answering this question, we're gonna play a quick promo video. But this is the audience. This is the question for you guys. Would a remote producer help you launch your idea/show? That's the first question. Let us know in the chat, yes or no. Would a remote producer, somebody who's going to take care of all of the tech stuff, you connect in as the guest, provide your value, and then disconnect? Would a remote producer help you to get your idea off of the ground? Because here's the critical piece, and this is why I think remote production is so critical. It's not about the production. It's about your message.
Yeah,
your message is critical.
Yeah.
Don't let your value go ungiven. Oh my God. I hope somebody gets this thing.
You're talking right now, man.
Let your value go ungiven. Huh?
Yeah.
Because somebody is waiting for you to be brave enough, bold enough to take a step of faith where there is nothing, to be able to provide to the world the value you have inside. They're waiting. Their success hinges on this. I am a living witness to this fact. So this is the question. I want y'all to know. I want y'all to answer us yes or no in the chat. Would a remote producer help you to launch your idea or show? That's the first question. The second question is, have you ever wanted to use your live streaming skills for clients? You've been watching these videos. You've been on my channel as a subscriber. Maybe you've been on multiple channels. You've learned how to work StreamYard. You've learned how to work some of these other platforms, Ecamm, Melon app. Doesn't matter. You've learned them, and now you're saying to yourself, man, I would love to do this for a client. Answer those two questions for us in the chat. And while you answer those two questions, we're going to hear from our sponsors.
Hustle Healthier is a social movement launched in direct response to the significant rise in hustle culture, a lifestyle that prioritizes work and professional success over everything else. The Hustle Healthier course is a 3-part series created in partnership with Arlen Hamilton, investor and founder of Backstage Capital, designed to help entrepreneurs improve and maintain their mental health while working towards their entrepreneurial goals. By promoting balance, resourcefulness, and mental health, Hustle Healthier aims to build a world of mentally resilient self-starters who influence our generation and world for the better. For more information, visit hustlehealthier.co today.
Man, listen, sometimes it could feel like it's a never-ending cycle of busyness. And what I love about Hustle Healthier and who is our sponsor for the month of March, listen, it's a women-owned business. I want you to understand this. In the month of March, we are celebrating our women. Okay, this is the month. But this is the thing. Hustling healthier doesn't mean that it's not still a hustle. It doesn't mean that you're still not on the grind. It doesn't mean that you're still not getting your stuff done. It just means that you're prioritizing what needs to be first. It's taking care of self so that you can take care of others. It's pouring from a full cup as opposed to an empty. It's taking those moments to decompress, to recharge. All of us recharge differently. Whatever that thing is, getting into that space that allows you to regenerate you. You want to provide all this stuff to the world as an entrepreneur, as a thought leader, as a passion project pusher. I love those P's. But but you want to make sure you are not completely drained. So with that said, I want to make sure that we highlight our sponsor for the month, hustlehealthier.co. Kanika's put that comment in the chat, and we've already, the comments are flowing in from our question. I see those comments coming in. Listen, while those comments are coming in, we're going to grab them in just a second, but I want to just define here, Austin, what is remote production? Who needs it? What are the benefits?
So I think the biggest thing for me, because we see a lot of different definitions when you look online, but for us, and the main thing pushing this whole remote production is that it is production that can be done from anywhere, any space, as long as you got great Wi-Fi, that allows you to push out and put out a product for clientele, for when it comes to live streaming, when it comes to live shows, that allow you to put out a production that gives a detailed I'm looking for the word here, Kirk, man.
Come on.
A detailed, dope, fascinating, creative space that allows clients to have a product that they can put out. And so a remote producer is someone that makes sure that everything in your show runs smoothly. We're helping you with your clients. Remote production doesn't just deal with just the stuff that you see on the screen here, but it also deals with the main stuff with those who are in the background, those who are going to be a part of the show, from their lighting to their camera to their mics. And so the remote producer really makes sure that your brand, your show looks good when you go live. You have to worry about nothing when you've got a dope remote producer pushing out a brand. And when you talk about what are the benefits, listen, a couple of benefits that you're going to get. You're going to get, especially if I come to Kirk Nugent, I'm saying, Kirk, I want you to be my remote producer. A couple of things I'm not going to have to worry about how my brand is going to look, right? Because I'm going to make sure that he's going to know exactly what I'm looking for with the look, with how things are going to be put out, the scenes. But another big thing about remote production and what the benefit is, it allows you to focus on the content.
Yes.
And that's a big thing for people that you don't understand about remote producers. Listen, I listen, myself and Vicky, I said before, we've done many shows. We have done the content and done the producing. But there is something special about saying, you know what, we're going to allow you to just listen. You can be free. We're going to make sure you get in on time. We're going to make sure that things slide in. Just focus on the content. Another big thing too is that people will see your brand after what you've done, and they're going to ask you, listen, how did you do this? How did this come about? They want to know more about what you do. It's also going to boost and push your branding to go to the next level.
Everything he said, ditto. What I'll hasten to add is, you have, let me just break down production for the novice. Yeah. For the person who's out there is like, what? Production, a stage play is a production. And a church service is actually a production, whether you stream it or not, whether there's cameras or not. It's a production because it's a well-oiled machine, because there is a timing and things that need to happen in a certain order, in a certain cadence, in a certain pace, and you've thought through the flow. It's a production. It's a production. When I did my project management professional certification, PMP, right? Hardest test I've ever taken in my life. Doctors were in there. They were like, this is harder than becoming a surgeon. Okay. The number one example of a project, a production, do you know what it was? Thanksgiving dinner. Multiple parts coming from all over the country. People are traveling. The turkey's coming with Auntie so-and-so, and she might not arrive on time. What's our contingency? You see, production. It's a production. It's many moving parts happening at the same time. So video production, whether it's a broadcast, whether it's a TV show or a movie or a short film that you're putting together for your own purposes, it's a production. When we talk about remote production, what we're simply saying is we are assisting this production remotely. I'm at my house or in my studio or in my bat cave, wherever that is, and I'm able to produce a show for a client literally in Australia. Yes, this past Saturday night.
And Kirk, I got to put this out there real quick.
Yeah.
This having a remote producer also saves you a lot of costs. You don't have to bring that producer in. You got to fly them in. They can do your show from where they are. Kirk just said it. Kirk has done we've done some stuff for each other, work together.
Oh, yeah.
Where he is in Alabama and I'm in Atlanta. I'm in North Carolina. We're on the exact same stream and people will think we're in the same space, but we're not.
We're not.
Because what we're able to do is we're able to produce something that is unique, that is different, and we don't have to be necessarily where the client or the host even is. And that's the beautiful piece about remote production.
And you talked about some of the benefits. You talked about, this thing is going to boost your brand. And so let's go grab a couple of comments here because we want to get into this question of who needs it. And I want to grab a couple of comments here. You can see the comments, right, Austin?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's start with Michael. Michael, I believe, was first. He says number one. So for the first question, he says, I think that it would help me, but at the same time, I like seeing how everything comes together. I like producing stuff. And let me say this to you, Michael. I get it, but what I want to hasten to add is that there is DIY, right? You do it yourself. There is done for you, right? That's the easy button. You just show up, provide your value. But there's the hybrid. You can purchase a package from, say, Austin's team or my team. You can still use that package yourself, but you don't have to figure out all the graphics. You see what happens there? So you get a package that you can produce yourself, but you don't have to go through, let me go through in Canva. Let me go through in Photopea. Right. Let me go through in Final Cut. Let me go through in DaVinci Resolve and figure out all these pieces. No, you get all of the assets that are going to make your show pop. And in that hybrid approach, you also get a 1-hour training session that allows you to utilize that package in the best way possible. So there's 3 tiers there, and I think you probably fall in that middle tier. So you want both the DIY, but then you might actually benefit from some done for you. And then, of course, there's coaching as well. So that's a huge thing there to think of. All right, so number 2, grab this one, Austin. Number 2 from Michael Shelton.
Yeah, he says, I think I fit better in this role. Of course, I would love to build my own brand and put my face out there, but producing is fun, which is totally true, Mike. It's super fun. Working in the background, graphic work, producing, etc., is a blast. And I think that's
good.
That's good, man. But I love that piece though, Shelton. Listen, it is fun. It is fun putting that stuff out, learning it.
Right.
And I think as Kirk already mentioned, answering that first question earlier, I think the both and that's kind of the sweet spot you want to be in. But the whole reason why we still, we talk about this remote production, we're still learning, is that we love to be a part of it. We love to have our face on it. We love to make sure that we're producing those things. But what Kirk talked about when he talked about this whole idea of coming together for his masterclass, dealing with putting that live show together, that really is going to help you kind of remove any holes in your live stream production area. It's going to take away all the gaps there. And so while you have the fun of coming together and I'm going to put this brand out, you're also getting the knowledge that, you know what, I may need to have somebody help me with this so that my thing is tight and succinct when I put things out.
I think, somebody else said it in there, we'll get to it, but it cannot be overstated that having a second set of eyes is always dope. And to be clear, this is what I mean. And I see you out there, Tina Carragher. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. But to be clear, Austin and I text. Hey, man, did you see it tonight? What'd you think? Oh, man, that was dope. We might want to tweak this. Hey, think about this. There is something to be said for having a community that you can really bounce some ideas off of, that you can get constructive feedback off of. I mean, be honest, I was not a fan of right side lower third. I wasn't a fan of it. But then Pastor Green was like, hey, man, I saw Austin and Kagia put up the right. I like that joint, man. What do you think? I was like, nah. And then I looked at it, I was like, oh, because see, the comments come up on the left side.
Correct.
So I was like, that's actually not a bad idea. So I flipped it. We can learn from one another is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't always have to be a one-way street. And I think even in my master classes, I have been able to glean information from others, I'm like, okay, cool. That's a dope way to do it. Let me grab this comment from Fingers. Finger says, yes, a remote would be great help to me. I need the help to get my ideas off the ground. And this is the point, because I never feel like the tech should be the barrier to getting your idea out there.
Yeah, right.
That's the point. And so Fingers, I love that comment because I think that this is critical. I want people to walk away today saying, this is the space that the remote producer exists in. And I listen, if you want me to say it, I'll say it. It's not free. It's not. It shouldn't be.
No,
it's not going to be free. I understand that. But even regardless of whether you want to get the full easy button package, or you want to just take a $50 masterclass course off of the site, or you want that package, I want the package done, but I'm going to remote produce it myself. Here's another one that I have a lot of people doing. They find a young person in their church. They find a young person in a nephew, a niece. Listen, I got a lot of girls that have been sent to me to become producers for their uncle. Their uncle's live show or for their aunt's live show. So finding somebody,
we see a lot
pouring
of those
into
too.
them, making that investment in them so that you can get the whole point is, let's get this value out here. And this is the space that the remote producer exists in. I wanted to make sure with this show that we unequivocally answer that question. This is what a remote producer is for. Catch this comment from Kerwin real quick, Austin.
Yeah, absolutely. He says, Kerwin says here, he says, making sure the client's message has a concentrated impact on the audience, leaving them in awe. And I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to having that audience. When we go live, when you have that live production, capturing all the content for a live and sending it out to multiple audiences. Multiple audiences are being touched. When we go live, and if you notice this, we're not just live on one platform. We're able to produce this and we're able to push this out to there's some StreamYard, Restreaming, 8 different places, full HD. We're seeing these different things and we're seeing different platforms come out. We're seeing different people trying new things to push this whole thing of live stream. We kind of see some of the power struggle. One of the things I love just about Ecamm, StreamYard, all these other things, is that as they evolve, we as remote producers need to evolve as well.
Yes.
There's not an update that comes out that I don't. Kirk, if I tell the truth, okay. First thing, I watch a few videos online, but I said, Kirk, where's your video?
Where's your video?
I gotta watch Kirk's video. Kirk, at this point, whenever Kirk drops a video, he sends it to me first because I want to be first dibs to watch that video, man.
Hey,
I want to be
it's real though.
It's about learning because I'm gonna pick up a skill. It's gonna bless me, and I'm telling you this for those who really want to step into this game. The more you learn, the more you grow, the more it's going to benefit your brand and put more money into your pockets, because you're going to be saying, listen, I've now learned this skill. I can now teach you this. I can give you a package that makes sense. There'll be some updates. I say, it seems long, but what? I gotta pay attention here because there's something in here I need to know that's going to take my brand, going to take my skill to the next level. I don't want to, here's the thing. I don't want to be left behind. Can I be honest about that?
Yes, say that, Doc. Say that.
I don't want to be left behind. If this is what I'm serious about, I want to grow. And the good thing about what you said, Kirk, earlier, and I don't want to keep, but I want to go back to this, even for the person that says, you know what, I can't do it, but I need a remote production specialist to come help me. Listen, we want to come be a part of your team. That's how we feel. We're a part. We're coming on to be a part of your team to help you.
I will tell you. I will say it this way. I needed to learn financial discipline, and God sent me a client who was teaching financial discipline. I know what y'all not hearing me tonight. Y'all not hearing me tonight. Yeah. I sent me two clients. I needed to learn how to win as a man, and God sent me a client that was teaching men how to win as men.
Yeah.
These are not just fly by night messages that it's like, okay, this is a paycheck. No, these are messages that I fully support and endorse. And so when Austin's talking about coming alongside and becoming a part of your team, that's what we really mean. It's part and parcel. Like we have a vested interest in your success because your success is our success.
Absolutely.
That's what a remote producer can do. And I love that. And I love that. I'm going to rattle off some of these other comments here real quick. Letitia says no, because I'm a nerd and I enjoy doing things myself.
That's it. That's what's up, yo.
Listen, the nerd crowd is here tonight. Seesaw Studio says, I think an extra set of eyes is always a plus. I couldn't agree with you more, Stephen. And he says, I personally love the results of remote producing. It's why I became church media director. There you go. Making sure the client's message has a concentrated impact on the audience, leaving them in awe. This is what his definition of remote production. Tina Garriger comes in, says, y'all are killing the game. Trusted eyes. I trust Austin. I love that. And see, this is what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's love, Tina.
There's love all the way around. Jermaine Nelson says, best show online. Hey, man, I love you, Doc. Tina says, and Kurt, I study your videos so I can step up my game. Listen, I so appreciate this. I so appreciate this, because this is what it's all about. This is why we come here. And I see my dude, Monty Weaver, in the chat. This is my guy, y'all. Let me tell you something. Everything I've done. Listen, Monty's that guy. Let me say this. I'm going to try and get this last question up here, because we are derelict in our time. It's getting crazy here. So Austin, I want you to walk people through your pre-show process. Don't give them all of the details, but give them a general pre-show process for a client production.
So, the biggest thing when you come on to be a part of Right Now Productions, we'll send you a form to fill out with all the different things we need for your show, branding wise, getting your stuff together. So that way we have a customized graphics to put out for you.
Can I pause you right there?
Yeah, come on. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me pause you right there. And this is not because you said anything wrong. I just want to say this to you, man. You're doing something serious when you get all of the crazies in your comment section, right?
Yeah. We see it.
When the crazies are in the comment section, you know you're doing something. But one of the things I want to say right here is that I cannot tell you, and Austin, we did not plan this. So you can disagree if you want to. I cannot tell you how many times I have sent out the form for people to fill out, like, hey, I need your logo, I need your this or that, and people are like, oh snap, I didn't know I needed those.
I didn't know I needed that. I didn't have that.
I didn't even know that was an option. I didn't know that was. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, what you are doing when you get a remote producer, I want to put somebody on game. Even if you produce your own show, it may still be beneficial to have a remote producer produce your show, just so you can see how somebody else does it. Just so you can see the process and you can be like, bet, now I know what to do for myself.
Now you know. Right.
Now you know. And because you know, you can move in that direction. Sorry. Go ahead.
That's
you were talking.
Good, man. You got to invest in yourself, man. No. So once people have their logos and everything else, we build out your graphics package. We get things ready. Of course, we get the proof from the client. Let's kind of can't give all the details, but for the sake of time, let's fast forward. Listen, I have a cutoff, man. Let's say I'm doing a weekend show on a Saturday night. By Wednesday, the content is there. I have a cutoff, and the reason for that is that we want to make sure that we have mastered. That's what we believe in. We want to master your content for your show.
Yes.
There's a cutoff point. One of the things that Kirk Nugent taught me was early in the game was the power of saying no. And the reason why sometimes we're saying no for your own good. If you want to add a video or extra slides at the last minute, it can derail how your show is going to look, right? So if there's ever a mistake, it's not going to be, it's going to be on the producer.
It's going to be on the producer.
So for us, we listen, we believe it. And I know, Kirk, listen, I know you, that's something because you taught me that. And so I've stuck to that. I've let clients know I love you, but listen, you've reached the cutoff. If it's not something we can put in there, we'll try to work with you, but we know if we want the best thing possible for your production, we got to have a cutoff. So we get a chance to, you provide us with the run sheet. And then what we do is we set a time. We believe in not starting live without doing some of the basic things like sound check, making sure you're on. So what we do is we send you out a link letting you know that this is how you get on the live stream. Come on. And what do we say, Kirk? Make sure that you got good mic, make sure you got good lighting, and have your camera ready to go. Right? Right. So you come on. And what do we always do? We tweak each other. Fix your camera here. Make sure your lighting looks good.
Listen.
Let's test the sound.
We don't want to see up your nose.
We don't want to see up your nose.
Please raise your laptop. Please raise your webcam. Listen, we do all.
Don't have the camera looking down or looking up. Be eye level with the camera, man.
Come on.
That's a big thing. So we work on that stuff, man. That's the big part. That whole pre-show that we do is really focused on making sure the final pieces are in place. You're looking crisp. You're looking clean. everybody's ready to go. And then as a remote producer, we go over the entire program. We let you know when things are going to take place, to when you're going to be queued up. And we also give you this one key tool, which I love about StreamYard and Ecamm, is to follow the private chat. Can I tell you that as a remote producer, one of the biggest commandments is following the private chat. Listen, for that night, even though this is your show and this is your product, I am the pilot of this show now. I'm letting you know that you have hired me to successfully take off, right? And then to land the plane. For us to do that, you've got to trust not only in the run sheet you provided, but trust in our expertise that things are going to work out. And I promise you, at the end, this is what me and Kirk can definitely promise you about both of our organizations, is that people will be left saying to you, how in the world did you do this show? This was incredible. What happened here? How do we get a part? That's what's going to take it to the next level.
And because we've done this so many times, Austin, because we have those reps under our belt, we can make those suggestions in the discovery call that will take your production to the next level. This is what I would say to anybody that's out there. Even if you run your own show, just let a remote producer do it once. Once is all you need to realize, like, okay, I need to get my stuff together. Do you know how many people I have had on my show who have later booked a coaching call because they're like, I need to know your entire process? Why? Because it was methodical from the form they filled out to the invites that they got to the t-shirt. Okay, come on, Austin. Don't do me like this. Austin, go ahead and stand up for the people. Stand up for the people. Yeah, there we go.
We see it here, everybody. Your live stream is move that little, is your digital storefront.
Come on.
You see that right there? There we go. I got the Kobe. Come on.
No, listen, from the t-shirt size and it showing up at the house, they were like, I need to know this entire process. The reason why being exposed is so critical is because you can take what you have seen, right? Oh, y'all know. You want me to preach this thing? What you have seen, what you have beholded, oh boy, it will change you, right? What you have seen you will internalize it, and then you cannot go back.
Can't go back.
That's what the person told me. He said, now that I've been on your show, I can't go back. Somebody sent me a show invite, and it was just a text message. And he's like, what is this? Kirk done spoiled me. I can't go back. What I'm saying is remote production is that thing. It's going to help you to understand all the dynamics, all the puzzle pieces that come together. Definitely check out the live show planning. Definitely come for the after party, because I see my guy Gary Jones in the comments just put that in there.
He dropped it.
Definitely come for the after party, because we're gonna chop it up a little further. Here's our final question. I'm going to try and get this thing on the screen. Here's the final question, and this is critical because I firmly believe, right? So the question is, and Austin, the question is, share something non-technical that has helped you to be a successful remote producer. And while he's chewing on that, I want to say this to you. Live streaming is 30% technical, 70% non-technical.
Yeah.
All of what we do here, sound, lights, cameras, the colors, it stops the scroll. But if we were just looking at one another, if me and Austin were quiet and we're just kind of like, so what do you want to say something? No, I don't want to say anything.
Right.
If we had nothing of value to share, you guys would not be here. There's 30 something people watching right now that you guys would not be here. Okay. So I see you, Jaleesa. I see you.
She's answered the question for me. So let me just go ahead and say first and foremost that my wife is the reason for being a successful remote producer.
You are a wise man, sir. You are a wise man.
Listen, but Kirk, I want to say this, man, because you really mentioned it earlier, and I think we kind of moved past it. It's a key nugget. Mm-hmm. We have a relationship on the court. This is on the court here. But you got to have a successful relationship off the court. And I think it's big when you're able to connect. First of all, you need to connect with somebody that's doing it and doing it well, that you don't mind getting wisdom from. See who's doing it. How did you do it? Listen, I am not ashamed to watch somebody's show. Not even just Kirk. I'll get on Ecamm's page, StreamYard's page. Yes,
I will.
I'll watch for hours. But the other critical thing here, and I don't even know if we can put this back up, but Kirk, I don't know if you go back to the scene with your book, but I want to talk a little bit about Listen, when he talks about this whole non-technical thing here, everybody, I'm gonna give you some time to get it together now, brother, because I want to make this point here for us. When you see this now, I want you to see it here. But listen, everybody, you have got to take the time to read when it comes to what you're doing to connect something new. You're doing something new, right? And so I'm giving Kirk a little bit more time because I really want to get to the title of his book because it's so major here. But one of the things I believe, everybody, that one of the tools that we need, because now this is what we're doing here. This is something that was not planned, right? Look at this for a second. 31 live streaming tips to grow your audience. Now, let me tell you something. 31 tips for $8. I'm not putting the plug. He's my boy, but I want to tell you what's critical here. This book is not something that is super technical where I've got to put things together. This requires me to sit down and learn.
Yeah,
I've got to take time and I've got to dig into it.
Oh my!
Because there's some things in here. If I thought to myself, well, I know I've done 1,000. When we talk about doing over 1,000 live streams, that doesn't mean that we're not done learning.
Oof.
I mean, listen, this is just one example using Kirk's book here, guys. This is just one example. But there's a lot of different people that we read up on. So community would be one, people that you can get poured into. But number two, you have got to read, just like any other skill. You got to read up on this stuff. Go to conferences. Learn the brand. The things that we see, learn what you're trying to do, because I guarantee you this, the more knowledge you take in, we creatures of habit. We always say all the time, we should never stop learning. But when it comes to live stream real producing, and this is why you can never stop learning, because things are always updating and things are always changing.
Yeah, they are.
And you'll be a step behind if you're not willing to say, you know what, I've got to sit down and read some of this stuff. I got to sit down and talk to somebody. I am never ashamed to call Kirk or call one of my good friends, Kyle Crawford, James Dog, and other people who are remote producers, and say, how did you do that? Yeah. What was the thought process there? And then look, I'll ask Kirk. I know you're busy, but can we get on Zoom? Can you just show me? Because we understand. Listen, it's not ego here. We're promoting each other. I can't wait to throw his name up for something else, man.
Everything that Austin is saying right now is exactly the point. It is exactly the point. Yeah. And I don't want to leave off without making sure you guys have these links in the comment section as well. Rightnowproduction.com. Rightnowproduction.com. Rightnowproduction.com.
This is the launch page, man, that we are releasing this. This is a pre-release on how it all works. Head over to Right Now Productions. You can get a chance to see all of our different packages, our training, our coaching that we do. Bring us on in. We'd love to get a chance to talk with your staff about building the different things we can do to present a show, all live production needs that you want, from graphic designs to voiceovers, to making the things happen for the best show possible. Listen, even if you have a show and you just want somebody to produce it, we're here for you. Rightnowproduction.com. Check us out, man. We'd love to have you be a part.
And here's the clincher, because I asked the question earlier. We only got 2 minutes left, and we're gonna land right now. Yeah. I asked the question earlier. If have you ever thought about using these skills as a producer for yourself? Listen, I send people to Austin. I want to say that here. Because Austin and Kagia are coming up in the ranks. There is going to come a time, because I have a small team. I can't take them all. I'll just be honest with y'all. Can I be honest? I can't take them all. So there's going to come a time where somebody's like, hey, who have you trained? Who do you have coming up behind you? Is there someone else? Man, I can't necessarily afford your prices anymore, Kirk. Is there, what's in the back pipeline? And it's going to come a moment, Austin, I'm telling you right now, live. Yeah. It's going to come a moment where you're going to be at a capacity level where it's like, fam, prices have shifted. I can no longer do it for what you normally do it for, right? Yeah, I can't even if you're willing to pay triple my price, I can't take on the work because I am at capacity.
It's at capacity. Yeah.
And so we're constantly looking to bring people along this journey. But you have to already be on the journey for people to tap you and say, this is somebody that you can probably have come and do your production. There are clients out there that are willing to be the guinea pig. Oh my gosh. I hope that somebody's... There are clients out there that are willing to be your guinea pig, that will allow you to get these reps under your belt while you're still learning. We both had them. And we still work with those clients to this day. But what I'm saying
to this day,
you want to make sure, if you want to be a remote producer, you want to get into the spaces that remote producers are. You want to consume what remote producers are consuming. You want to look at what remote producers are doing. If you have value you want to offer, you have something you want to share with the entire globe, that you know God has said to you, I need you to get this message out there. Do not let the tech get in the way. Find a remote producer. Find somebody who can help you to get all of those barriers cleared out and allow you to be laser focused on just providing your value. When I did my conference, I had a remote producer come in. I did. There are times where you do want to focus on the content, and it is not advantageous to produce it yourself. I know I could produce it, but I needed to speak. I needed to focus on being energetic and blissful and being the life of the party. I wanted somebody else to switch the scene to where it came to me. That's what a remote producer is all about. The producer is the come on, this we're going to land right here. The remote producer is the Magic Johnson of the game, right? That bounce pass in the paint. That's okay. Because they're not the one taking the shot. They're not the ones on the highlight reel. But were it not for the remote producer setting it all up, it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. Somebody's got to be a remote producer. Oh, I think I felt
we got you. And we got you.
The remote producer sermon. Ooh.
Come on. We got you.
Listen,
we
Austin,
got you.
Listen, I gotta open up the Zoom room for the after party. Thank you so much, bro. Don't go nowhere. But thank you so much for being with us today. The link is in the description, y'all. Rightnowproduction.com is in the description. It's not just in the description, but it's also in the chat. So if you want to hit that up, make sure you hit up my guy, man. And listen, if you want to reach out to me and say, hey, I know you had that guy on the show, I will get you his information as well. Draymond Green for the win. Kevin Cox says.
Green. That's it.
This is what it's all about. I had just immensely enjoyed having you today, Austin. Thank you so much for being with us. Appreciate it. Listen here, fam. We're gonna close this thing out today. Whenever we get kindred spirits in the joint, it's gonna be a problem. This is not gonna be the last time you're gonna see Austin on here. We're gonna have Austin come back through, and we're gonna continue this conversation about remote production. It seems like we struck a chord tonight, so we want to make sure we have that. Next week, we're gonna be talking about course creation. And my guy Joseph Mwange is going to be on the show with us, and I'm excited. Y'all, listen, if you've never heard Joseph speak, you need to get yourself together. Buckle up. He was a guest speaker on a production that I did this past Sunday, and he just tore the place down. But listen, he's not going to be coming to preach or teach. He's going to be coming to talk about the process of creating a course. You want to grow at scale. Live video is definitely one of the tools that you want to utilize. But the next, natural progression for live video is then to create a course. The course can be taken at somebody's own pace. When you can't get to the place to do the seminar, when you can't go there to teach the class, when you can't physically do a coaching session, the course can be your surrogate, and that information and that value can still be shared. Course creation might be in your future, and want you to come back next week for that episode where we're going to be talking about course creation. It's been my pleasure to be your host tonight. How It All Works, Convos and Collabs with Austin Humphreys, Right Now Productions. Definitely check that out. And if you want to catch us in the after party, definitely hit that up. But I hope that somewhere, as we talked about remote production and remote producers today, some of those tips, tricks, best practices, what is it like to be in the producer's chair, that you were able to peek behind the veil a little bit, have that light bulb moment where you said, aha, I got it now. Basically, we're hoping that you're able to figure out how it all works. And we see y'all, fam, in the next video. Later.